MCU has never had a villain like Daredevil, born against Muse. The MCU has featured numerous scary villains with deadly, world-ending aims that seek to alter the very fabric of the world as we know it. Thanos Josh Brolin, Ultron James Spader, and even enemies with more grounded ambitions, such as Wilson Fisk, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Killmonger Michael B. Jordan, all seek to propagate a specific philosophy and will go to great lengths to do so. This makes these characters capable of carrying an entire film as the hero's lone antagonist, or even their own storyline, like Thanos did in Avengers Infinity War by becoming the hero of his own story. However, this can sometimes imply that they aren't as frightening as they could be, since we can justify their acts. Daredevil, Born Again's latest episode, Excessive Force, introduces us to an enemy who is unlike any other in the MCU. Muse, who is reported to be played by Hunter Doohan, is frightening because his ultimate goal is not to destroy the planet. Instead, he is the first serial killer we've seen in the MCU. To be clear, a serial killer is defined by how we view them in the real world. Given how the definition has evolved or become more detailed, this is a highly complex topic. However, for the purposes of this study, we will concentrate on characteristics such as being mentally unstable, dangerously irrational, and impulsive to the point of causing harm to themselves. These thematic aspects revolve around Muse, although he does not attempt to transform the world in the same manner that Fisk or the Hand have. Part of what makes him such nightmare fuel is the realism with which he is portrayed as a serial killer, rather than a supervillain. And this distinction could not be more crucial. He has no plans to rule the world, simply to kill as many people as possible in order to show a point and acquire some satisfaction. When he attacks the two women who approach him in this episode, he does something we haven't seen since Abomination in The Incredible Hulk, indiscriminately attacking civilians in ways that don't serve his purpose. However, there is now a retcon that Emil Blonsky, Tim Roth, was unaware of what he was doing at the time with She-Hulk. Having to drain those women and paint that mural would have been a major danger because he would have had to move two bodies instead of one, demonstrating that he has no control over his impulsive behavior. One may argue that we've seen ground-level killers in the MCU previously, such as Adrian Toome's Vulture, Michael Keaton, who had no qualms about murder and sought to remain as low-profile as possible. However, he did this for his family, as he repeatedly stated to Peter Tom Holland in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Here we see why Muse is so terrifying in comparison to previous MCU villains. His motivations are completely selfish and unrestrained. Muse has done more nasty things than any other villain, such as draining blood and ripping out his victim's eyes.